Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're exploring something really fundamental, how brands build trust in tough markets. And we're specifically looking at India.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Our sources show it's not just about the product or the price anymore, not by a long shot.
Right. It seems like a genuine commitment to values, especially environmental ones, is becoming the real currency for success.
Absolutely. Brand trust is just so critical now, and it's tied directly to what a company stands for, its values, its sustainability efforts.
And that applies across the board, like B2B, B2C.
Definitely. Whether you're selling to huge corporations or individual consumers, they're looking harder at these things, which, brings up a big question.
Which is?
Well, how do companies actually show this commitment, tangibly, I mean? So it builds real trust, not just, sounding like nice words on a website.
Okay, and that's exactly where this deep dive is heading. We're zeroing in on something called ISO 14001 certification.
Ah, the international standard.
Exactly. It's globally recognized, and it basically acts as independent proof that an organization is genuinely serious about sustainability.
Verifiable proof, which is key.
Totally. So our mission today is to really understand how this certification helps build that brand trust, especially in a market like India, and, well, what practical advantages it brings.
Right. So maybe let's start by unpacking why ISO 14001 is so effective for building trust. What's actually involved?
Good idea.
Well, first off, it's not just you saying we're green. The standard actually mandates you set up an environmental management system, an EMS.
Okay, an EMS, what does that look like in practice?
Think of it like a systematic plan for how your company handles its environmental impact.
So step by step.
Yeah. First, you have to figure out all your environmental impacts, everything from energy use, water consumption, waste, you name it.
Right. Get a baseline.
Exactly. Then you set real, measurable targets for improvement. You put procedures in place to meet them. You track your progress.
And crucially,
And crucially, you continually review how you're doing and adapt. It's this ongoing cycle plan, do, check, act, and importantly, it's all audited by an external body.
okay, so that independent third-party check is really the core of the trust factor here.
Precisely. It takes it away from just being claims. It's verified action.
So it gives stakeholders, customers, investors, everyone real assurance that the sustainability stuff isn't just greenwashing or slick marketing.
Yes. It shows the effort is genuine and structured. Now, if you think about this specifically in the Indian context.
Yeah, let's connect it there.
Okay, well, think about regulations first. Indian businesses, like businesses everywhere really, face stricter and stricter environmental rules.
Right. Compliance is a big deal.
It is. And having ISO 14001 certification is pretty solid proof that you're meeting or maybe even exceeding those requirements.
So it helps you stay on the right side of the law, basically, and avoid trouble.
Exactly. It proactively helps avoid fines, penalties, negative press, all the things that can instantly just, wreck brand trust.
Okay, that makes sense. But you mentioned India specifically.
Yeah.
Why is this type of verifiable environmental commitment maybe especially valued by Indian customers and businesses? What's unique there?
Well, there are a few really powerful factors. For one, there's a significant local advantage.
How so?
Many government projects, big public tenders in India, they now either flat out require ISO 14001 just to bid, or they give serious preference points to companies that have it.
Wow, okay. So without it, you might not even get considered for some major work.
You might not even get a foot in the door. Yeah.
And I imagine that extends beyond India, too.
Oh, absolutely. For businesses looking to export, international clients very often insist their suppliers hold certifications like this. It's become a kind of baseline expectation in global supply chains.
So if you're aiming for global markets, ISO 14001 isn't really optional anymore. It's more like a ticket to play.
It's increasingly becoming that way, yes. A non-negotiable for opening those international doors.
Interesting. What about consumers?
Well, there's definitely a growing environmental awareness among consumers in India. People are more aware of climate change, local pollution issues.
And that translates into buying habits.
It certainly seems to. Our sources suggest a clear preference is emerging for brands seen as eco-friendly. It's moving beyond just a niche concern.
So it's becoming more mainstream.
Yeah, across different groups, people are factoring it into their choices.
Okay, so putting this all together, what does it actually mean for an organization? If you get this certification, what are the concrete benefits?
Well, beyond potentially boosting sales directly, it fundamentally changes how you compete.
How do you mean?
It lets companies move beyond just fighting on price. It allows them to command what you might call a trust premium.
A trust premium. meaning customers will actually pay more.
Our sources indicate yes, customers seem genuinely willing to pay a bit more for brands they trust are doing the right thing environmentally because that commitment is verified.
And the international angle we mentioned.
That's another huge benefit. Having these strong environmental credentials, recognized globally, can really speed up market expansion.
So it makes it easier to scale, go international.
Definitely, it's a recognized mark of quality and responsibility. It just smooths the path.
That makes sense. Yeah. Are there internal benefits too inside the company?
Oh, for sure. Our sources really highlight this. When a company commits to something like ISO 14001, it often boosts employee pride.
Okay. How does that work?
Well, people feel better about working for a company with a good reputation, one that's contributing positively. It increases engagement.
Right, feeling like you're part of something meaningful.
Exactly. Plus, the process of getting the certification often leads to practical things like safer, cleaner workplaces, which is obviously a win for employees.
A win-win. Better reputation, happier employees, safer conditions.
And then there are the broader societal benefits, too. By getting certified and improving their environmental performance, companies are actually helping reduce India's overall environmental footprint.
So they're contributing to national goals.
In a way, yes. They're supporting government sustainability targets, working alongside NGOs maybe, and generally acting as leaders in corporate social responsibility, setting an example.
Okay, so the case for getting ISO 14001 seems pretty compelling. Lots of upsides.
It really is. And this is where our sources point out something crucial.
Ah, there's a twist.
There's a potential gap, let's say. Merely getting the certificate seems to be where many companies, particularly in India, stop.
Just ticking the box.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Treating it as just a compliance exercise. And by doing that, they're actually leaving a lot of brand value just sitting there untapped.
Right. They're missing the chance to really leverage it.
Exactly. And this is where something like strategic consultation can make a huge difference.
How so?
Well, the source material suggests consultants can help businesses position ISO 14001 not just as, a badge on the wall, but as an active, dynamic marketing tool.
Okay, so actively using it.
Yes. Using it properly in marketing campaigns, in PR, weaving it into client proposals, creating strong sustainability reports, boosting their whole CSR narrative, really shouting about it, but with credibility.
Okay. Do we have an example of this?
Actually, yes, there's a great case study mentioned. A Hyderabad-based IT service provider.
Okay, what happened?
They initially went for ISO 14001 purely to meet tender requirements, just needed the certificate.
Right, the compliance checkbox we mentioned.
But instead of stopping there, they worked with consultants. They developed a whole sustainability communication plan around it.
So they got strategic.
They did. They started actively highlighting their ISO 14001 status and their environmental achievements in pitches to clients on social media everywhere. They made sure to align it with ESG goals.
Environmental, social, and governance criteria.
Exactly. Which, as you know, are increasingly important for investors and, well, everyone.
And the result?
Pretty impressive, actually. Within just 6 months, they landed 3 new international clients.
Wow. Directly attributable.
The implication is strongly there, yes. And maybe even more telling, their overall brand recall within the Indian IT sector jumped by 28%.
28%? That's huge.
It really is. It just shows how you can turn what might seem like a bureaucratic exercise into a genuine competitive advantage and a growth engine if you leverage it smartly.
That's a really powerful illustration. Okay, this probably leads us into some common questions people might have.
Sure.
Like, first up, how exactly does ISO 14001 impact marketing? Seems obvious from the case study, but maybe just to summarize.
Well, fundamentally, it gives your environmental claims real credibility because they're independently verified. You're not just talking the talk.
Right.
And that directly builds customer trust and makes your marketing messages much more engaging and believable.
Okay. And what about small businesses?
Yeah.
Can they realistically use this for brand building? Is it just for the big players?
Oh, absolutely they can, especially if they're in B2B sectors.
Why, especially B2B?
Because business clients often place a really high value on supply chain sustainability. Having ISO 14001 can genuinely level the playing field for a smaller company, giving them an edge over perhaps larger competitors who haven't bothered.
So it can be a real differentiator, even for SMEs.
Definitely.
Okay. And the final big one we often hear, is this ISO 14001 thing actually recognized globally? Or is it just known in certain regions?
No, it's Absolutely recognized worldwide. It's a truly international standard.
So it genuinely helps open doors internationally.
Without a doubt. It speaks a kind of universal language of environmental commitment that businesses understand across borders.
Great. That clears up some key points. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
the core message seems pretty clear. In today's market, which is just flooded with claims, especially about being green,
Mhm.
trust isn't something you can just, claim anymore. It really has to be earned through action, verifiable action.
Well said. And ISO 14001 really stands out as that kind of concrete, independently checked proof that a company's environmental commitment is real.
Right. It cuts through the noise.
It does, and it makes you think,
Bigger.
given how environmental awareness is growing everywhere and seeing the clear benefits in places like India, maybe there's a provocative thought here for listeners.
Okay, let's hear it.
How might the role of certifications like ISO 14001 evolve? Could it move beyond just being seen as compliance? Could it become an even more fundamental differentiator for pretty much every kind of business, big or small, any sector, in the years ahead?
Hmm. So less of a nice to have or a requirement and more of a core strategic element.
Potentially. And what might be the long-term impact on brands that really integrate these values deeply versus those that just, keep treating it as a checkbox? Where will they each end up?
That's definitely something to mull over. A really interesting question about the future trajectory. We hope this deep dive gave you some useful insights into brand value and market dynamics today. Thanks for joining us.